What's up, everyone? My name is Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. I'm going to cover with you for just a few minutes the sneak peek of what's to come on Chasing Orlando. We get the second half of what happened during the pool party, and we see a confrontation between Max and Marlo Kay, and a little bit of more information. But anyways, please like this video. You can subscribe and you can comment. These are spoilers. If you don't want to be spoiled, don't watch, look away, and just wait until tomorrow night. I believe that they are going to air at 8 Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, so I got the sneak peek because I am a paying member, and you can too. Go on and do your business over there on Chasing Reality's account over there on YouTube. So, more of the fallout of what happened after the pool party. We learned, as I was suspecting, that Fabio is the one that knocked out B-Baby's friend. I said, ooh, and he gives his feedback. I guess him and the dude got into it back in the house. And I don't think we saw that part. We saw him get into it with Cali Boy a little bit, and it seemed like Fabio was just getting involved, and I was trying to figure out why, just to be honest, because it's like, well, you don't know these people. Like, why? Why? Now, if you're there to kind of calm things down, I understand, but I didn't. You got heated way too fast and getting heated at the wrong people at the same time. So obviously something went down between him and B-Baby's friend. So he was the one that did all that. We saw the blood. B-Baby says that he had blood on him and all that stuff. So it got bad. We know that the police were called. So at the same time, Max said, let me go in and market and let me hand out my cards while we out here just standing around. Make use of his time. So back in the house, B-Baby's there, and then we see Marlo. She comes in. And what I'm getting from, because I really couldn't understand what they were saying, Marlo wanted to get on B-Baby because of his friends. That she's trying to just say that they were the ones that were acting out. However, Rashida was the one that was being erratic over a thump, the word thump. Cool. Again, as I said last week, if thump is something from Miami, cool, but you're in Orlando. But you didn't even try to get any type of clarification. You were just ready to, And then that other girl just came in and disrupted everything. Hopefully we get to the bottom of that as to why this person was around. But, I mean, I care by the time y'all say whatever, but at least somebody needs to say, were they officially supposed to be here or not? So, while they're talking, Max comes in. He's got a bottle of liquor, and he's asking Marlo, do you want to take the shot? And then Marlo's like, no, we need to talk. So then she goes on to say in regards to what she overheard in the car on the phone call. We find out what happened. Max was talking to the promoter. Okay, let me back up a little bit. So what's going on is that there is supposed to be this new movement. And this promoter is supposed to be inclusive and getting all different types of people to come together to go to clubs or whatever to party. Max is aware of it, and then we now know that Marlo is aware of it. Marlo said when the promoter was saying that he was going to be, I guess, more co-hosting with someone else, and she said particularly me. I was hearing you on the phone say, well, you know how girls like Marlo do to get down. I'm kind of paraphrasing a little bit. It was just like, kind of like Marlo is easy as far as what I'm taking from it. And Max was like, wait, what? Hold on. Max said he was taken aback because that's not what he said. That's not what I said. Those are not my words. So that's when we got the context of what was going on. Max was supposed to be on the flyer promoted, I believe, as the headliner, from what I'm assuming from what he was saying. Now, Marlo said, I heard that I was on the phone twice with you when you said that. And I'm looking like, her? And Max was like, no, I didn't say that. Now, right now, we don't know. All we're hearing is from Marlo. But I do have some points I want to make out. Because Max said it also in his confessional, like, well, it's giving very weird vibes that you would be listening to a phone call on speaker and not even announce yourself, or he didn't announce you. And I agree. Like, what is all this secrecy? And this is where I got to get on the promoter. Promoter, you're the one that's trying to plan this whole inclusivity. Am I saying it right? Inclusivity. You're trying to get all these people together to be inclusive. All right. So your first motive or your first gesture is to cause division. You were deceptive all at the same time. If you are saying, even if what Marlo is saying is true, you are saying that you were on the phone talking with Max that you and Marlo were going to co-headline or something like that, that they're going to be on the flyer. Why wouldn't you say, hey, I got Marlo here and I want you two to be on the flyer? What was the motive in doing all of that? Has there been past talk of Max and all that, saying something about Marlo? Is that where you were getting at the whole time? However, if your vision and goal is to be inclusive, you've already wrecked it by being messy. By being messy. Max said in his confessional that I thought me and Marlo was cool and all that. So then in real time, Max is wanting to explain, okay, well, he's trying to switch up and trying to add somebody on the flyer and all that. And then my brand. And then Marlo starts talking over him. Oh, your brand. Yes, my brand. I could actually tell you about my brand. You said, well, you watched first season, so you know all about that. And then Marlo said, no, I didn't. I'm like, well, wait a minute. From what I saw from last episode, Marlo, is that you were doing some type of pre-event before the reunion? So why wouldn't you have watched first season? Chasing reality. Do you need to vet better? Now, I'm not on your case, but I am going to be really judging the words that come out of your mouth. And you said that. So you didn't even watch the season, but you decided to be a host for a pre-event? All right, I'm just putting it out there. So then it starts getting a little bit more intense as far as now the reads are starting to happen. Because all Marlo wants to say is that Max sprays perfumes for itches down hallways. That's what he does for a living. Of course, if you saw season 1, which I believe with all of my heart that Marlo, you did watch season 1. We know that Max does a whole lot more. We know that he's an entrepreneur outside of what he has going on as far as a 9-to-5 job. We know that. So, no, that's crazy. So then Max really just kicked back and just started talking about the blemishes on the skin. And you'll see all that tomorrow. So I ain't even going to go into it, but let's just say that he got into it. So then they're kind of just yelling at each other. Not so much yelling at each other, but voices were raised. It wasn't yelling. And then somehow it got into where Marlo was talking about, well, I'm the city princess. The city princess? Max said, you're the city peasant. That's what he said on the trailer, so that's no shock there. And Max was just ready to leave at this point because he knew that Marlo wanted a moment. I will say this much. Marlo, it's just like you weren't even going to do anything. Max had to come to you unaware that you had a real problem with him specifically. And it's just like, I'm trying to get where the K comes in at. I just need to know that much. Come on. So he's going out the door slowly. Even though Marlo's saying in her confessional, he's a runner, he's a track star. If I'm the city peasant, you are the city marathon. Okay. But he wasn't running though. It don't look like y'all was gonna fight anyways. He was shaking his booty right at you, right out the door. I think B Baby was starting to hold you back just in case something went off, and then later on you bust out the door. Where you at? So y'all get into it again, and the next thing, all I hear you saying to him is the same read that you gave to him earlier. All I know is that you spray perfume down the hall. I think you said down the hallway, but anyways, I'm like, so you repeated a read that you already had? Like you didn't even come prepared. And that's interesting. You weren't prepared when you were even trying to confront him in the beginning because you were stuttering before you came out with what you said that you heard during that phone call. Now let me get back to this promoter. Not only is your vision really tainted, It's a good idea. It's good in theory, but you're not the one for it. All I gotta say is, Marlo, if that's a person that you like to hang around, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't trust him with any business. He decided to be divisive, messy, and deceptive. And you're probably thinking that, oh, he's not gonna do it to me. If he can do this over business, and before, why are we doing business in a car, promoter? Promoters typically look out for themselves. You don't see too many integral promoters out there. They're out there for themselves. So don't think that you won't be thrown under the bus if you continue to have any type of business dealings with him. That's all I gotta say. That's my warning and all that. But yeah, so he's divisive, he's deceptive, and manipulative. And you know what else he's doing? He commits crimes. Meaning, do you know in the state of Florida, it is unlawful for you to have somebody listening in on a phone call, whether it's recorded or you just tapped in online listening. So I asked, is it okay to secretly record, or are you able to listen in on a phone line? According to what I've looked up, no. In Florida, you cannot secretly tell someone your phone call is being listened to, because secretly intercepting and recording phone calls is illegal and a crime. Florida has a two-party consent state, meaning all parties on a call must consent to it being recorded. Therefore, if a third party is secretly listening to your call without everyone's knowledge and consent, it's a violation of the law. Two-party consent. Florida law requires parties involved in a private conversation to consent to it being recorded. Interception includes both listening to and recording a conversation without consent. Privacy. This applies to any communication where there is a reasonable expectation of privacy, such as a private phone calls, texts, emails, and in-person conversations. So yeah. So he breaks laws, he's deceptive and divisive. That's all I do have. Marlo, I'm still waiting for the K to show up. That's all I gotta say. It's only the second episode, so am I going in on you like that? Not in like in a way that I would go in on someone that I'm just kind of over and done with and through and just now ready to just read up and down. No, I'm not there. I'm just waiting for K to show up. So hit us with your best shot at this point, Marlo. That's all I gotta say. So hopefully you enjoyed this little recap of what I have seen of the footage that should be showing on tomorrow. Yeah, Fabio, I'm kind of concerned in regards to you wanting to fight as you are a professional wrestler. Now, I don't think that you should be punked out and all that stuff. I think that my concern is just be careful, because you are trained to fight people professionally. I know in a lot of other type of situations, I think at least with, if you're doing karate and all that, or even boxing lessons, I think that they teach you that you're supposed to fight in defense and then also learn what to do and not to do, because at your ability, you could really harm someone or cause someone to go on to glory or to cause some major issues to go on. And I don't think you wanted that, because you didn't even know the dude. Not for real. For whatever he's doing, he was popping his mouth off. So you did say in the last episode that God's not through with you. Maybe you just need to control your anger. Again, I'm not saying that you have to be a punk about it to anyone. However, just cool yourself a little bit. At least, and I'm not saying that you don't have that ability, but you did knock that dude out. And I guess it was just by one punch. I don't know. But anyways, that's all I got, y'all. Can't wait till tomorrow's episode, and you'll see me either Friday or Saturday with the next review for episode 2. Please like this video, subscribe, and also leave your comments below. And until the next one, peace.